Hi guys, welcome back to the Humble Gamer channel. I am the Humble Gamer and this is a vlog which I feel I need to do, partly for myself, partly for you guys, so you know what's going on. You may have noticed recently that, well, and certainly until the last week or so, videos have been a bit stop-start since the start of the year. There's a reason for that. It's because I've not always had the motivation to do the videos. This is not, before we go any further, this is not a vlog about me quitting YouTube. I'm still going to be here, I'm still going to do it, but the reason I wasn't doing the videos is because I lacked motivation, I lacked drive, I'd stopped enjoying lots of things, I stopped enjoying recording, I didn't enjoy having the camera on, I wasn't as excited by the idea of talking over a computer game, and I did a few things that I'm not going to show you because they weren't very good, because I wasn't really focusing on it, it wasn't really in my mind. This video is also going up on Facebook as a direct link, not a link to the YouTube video. It's actually going up as a video on Facebook because this affects more than just you guys that support me on the Humble Gamer channel. It affects friends, and the reason it's on Facebook is because I didn't feel that what I've got to say could be said just with text. I think it needs, or I feel I need to say it out loud. Claire, my girlfriend, knows, my parents know, and a number of other people suspect that what I'm going to say now. Yesterday, the 19th of March 2015, I was diagnosed with depression. Now, it's not serious, I'm not on the verge of throwing myself off anything, I'm not going to bed crying every single night, you know, I'm not in that dark a place, but I am suffering from a mild to moderate form of depression. Now, steering away from the YouTube thing, sticking out much more to real life now, this does not mean that I am going to quit everything I'm doing. It doesn't mean I'm in a black pit which I will never get out of. It just means that I wake up some days and I don't want to open my eyes. I don't want to go to work, I don't want to interact with anyone, I just want to be left alone. I want to disappear, and it basically means that I'm in not a great place mentally right now. The annoying thing for me is that I have nothing to be depressed about. You know, I've got a wonderful, supportive, loving girlfriend who means the absolute world to me, who is having to deal with this on a different side. You know, when I told her yesterday, she was in tears, bless her, not floods of them, but she was crying. And it was only then I realised that actually it might affect some people more, believe it or not, than it does affect me. Because when you're going through something like this, you know what it is, you know exactly how you feel, and it only occurred to me when I was telling her that there was going to be some people that it did affect. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm expecting everyone to be, you know, sad or broken over the fact that I'm telling you this, but it was a bit of an eye-opener. And I had a conversation with Naz Dragonheart and Agent Lion, or Tom and Dave to give them their real names, and I was amazed at how supportive they were. Not that before I insult them with that statement, it was, you know, they're not. I don't always see my friends, because I see them in the sort of the light that we all are. We all mock each other, we all have a good laugh, we all lots of banter. It was very weird and very refreshing to see that level of support, particularly from two guys who you don't often see that. I don't often see that side of, because I've never needed to. And I know that you guys here on YouTube and on Facebook, I know that when it comes down to it, you are all there to support each other. We're all there to support each other, and I know that in the coming weeks and months you will support me. So that's the big point I want to get across here, is that, you know, I am not in a good place. What this means for you guys on YouTube is that videos will come out as and when. I will do my best to keep up and do them when I can. I know that some people say, you know, YouTube isn't important, I should focus on getting myself better, and I will, but YouTube will be a big part of that for me. You know, I look back over some of the hilarious moments we've had on the channel, and some of the great moments, some of the successes, some of my more amusing failures, and you know, they do always bring a smile. You know, it doesn't matter to me that some videos that I think are great videos get 5 views. It matters to me that I had a lot of fun and that they're there on the internet forever. You know, unless YouTube does eventually shut down, in which case I should be burning them to DVD as quickly as possible. But even if they're not on the internet, I've got them on my computer, I've got them on my hard drive, and there's always things that I can look back on and, you know, say that for a short time in my life, I don't know when I'm going to finish YouTube. Nowhere soon anyway, I'll tell you that. You know, I shall look back and I think, you know, I created essentially a TV program. You know, I mean, what we've done with Minecraft is fantastic, and you guys haven't seen it all yet. You know, and what we're going to do with Minecraft is brilliant. What we're doing with some new games we're playing, things like Robocraft and War Thunder, and some of my personal games, things like Amnesia, Outlast, Whistleblower, Longest Journey, which I'm going to go back to. You know, the horror games, the funny games, the silly games, the demos, everything like that. It amazes me that I've managed to do that, and I want to keep going. I want to push through whatever it is that I'm dealing with at the moment, and I want to push through and make YouTube and the comedy that it brings, the hilarity, the odd serious moment, the touching moments, the failures, the successes, I want to keep them forefront in my mind as much as I can. In other aspects of life, you know, I mean, I'm looking at, ironically enough, talking about suffering from depression, I am going to be looking at writing a one-man comedy show and hoping to be touring that out. There might be footage of that on YouTube at some point when I can get a gig together that I can record at, and hopefully it'll be decent footage for you guys to hear, and hopefully you might get a laugh out of it, because I like entertaining people. Now, the thing that what I'm suffering doesn't always allow is the belief that I'm good at it, and the belief that people want to see it. Now, that's not a call. I don't need you all to sit there and say and type in the comments or on whatever. I don't need you to all be saying, yeah, we love it. That's not what I'm saying it for. If you do, great, and if you feel like you really need to say that, please do. Obviously, I'm not going to turn away compliments if they're there, but that's not what this vlog is for. This vlog is for saying it out loud to as many people as I can, because it's not a conversation I want to have many times. And I was speaking to someone who I hope will become a good friend of mine. I'm currently working with them in a show, Midsummer Night's Dream, for United Theatre, whose link you'll find in the description below, along with other links that I'll get to later. And, you know, first of all, everyone that's involved has always said, from when I brought it up earlier in the week, nearly a week ago now, I first brought it up at work, they've all said that they'll support me as much as I can. I know that you guys, whether you've heard this for the first time, whether you're hearing it again, I don't know, you'll all support me. I know you will. You're a good group of guys, both my friends on Facebook and the guys I've met over YouTube, who I've been blessed to meet. But yeah, it's one of those things, you have to fight through it. You have to keep going. You have to really, really focus, and that's sometimes difficult. And you have to remember that, and I have to remember that I am at least decent at what I do. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be earning every paycheck I do doing acting. I wouldn't be sat here with 170 odd subs on YouTube. You know, I wouldn't have met the people I've met, I wouldn't have made the friends I've made, or had some of the great times that I've had without being, at least, like I said, semi-decent at what I do. But it is a fact that I'm going to have to deal with for at least the foreseeable future. When I spoke to my GP yesterday and he did diagnose it, he said immediately that there are things that can be done, and the upshot of it all is that I'm going to be doing counselling. It'll first be a telephone interview. This will start hopefully in about the next fortnight or so, and then following the television interview will probably be group sessions, and it'll be just talking to people and just getting things off my chest and working through things with people who are in a similar situation, who may have come up with ideas that I haven't thought of yet to get through. And the upshot of that is I will hopefully be doing, once that starts, I'll hopefully doing a sort of weekly, bi-weekly vlog for the channel, for a couple of reasons. One, to keep you guys informed. It will be on Facebook as well, to keep you guys informed, to keep my friends informed, you know, those friends who perhaps I don't get to see very often, or who are very busy, who I can't always catch up with, and I'll hand on heart, I'm one of the worst people for catching up with people. You know, so hopefully you guys will be in as much of the loop as I can. But the other reason for that is because, you know, I have a small reach on the internet. I don't have the fans that Markiplier, that PewDiePie, that Cinnamon Toast Ken, the big YouTubers have. I don't have the reach. But the reach that I do have, I want to do as much good with as I can. And unfortunately I can't financially afford to do live streams. One of the things I'd love to do is do a live stream where I say any donations you guys make to a charity I will meet. Unfortunately, if I did that, I would struggle to eat for the month at the moment, although that is something I want to do. And I will be doing a charity live stream very, very soon, hopefully, for a charity around what I'm doing and what I'm suffering through. Not for me. I don't think I'm anywhere near the position where I would need a charity to step in. You know, I'm not. It's not every day. It's not a daily occurrence, but it is becoming more and more regular, and that's why I went to the GP to stop it before it becomes a daily occurrence, because I don't want to be defined by what I'm going through. But what I would hope with these vlogs that will start soon is that people who are suffering from mild, moderate, or even perhaps severe depression, or people who are thinking they might be and they're not sure and they want to know a bit more, but maybe the people around them they don't feel they can talk to, or maybe they are saying to themselves, maybe it's, you know, it's just me, it's just who I am, you know, it's not an illness, it's just, I just feel depressed a lot of the time. Because there is a difference between being depressed and having depression, and I thought I was depressed. I didn't think I had depression until my friends and my work colleagues all said, actually you should probably get this looked at. And maybe it's a case of hearing someone who you can't meet in person, who you don't know strictly from Adam, but just hearing experiences might help. I don't know. Ironically enough, very recently I played Depression Quest by Zoe Quinn, that game that, if you know anything about the internet, caused an awful lot of a stir because of some of the less than supportive, to be completely diplomatic about the situation, and to be less than diplomatic about the downright disgusting and horrific comments that it led to, that were aimed at one of the three developers. The developer's name that's always linked with that is Zoe Quinn. There are actually two other guys involved, and they were men. I don't think personally that if it was a solo male developer that there would have been quite the trouble, but that's a whole other argument. I played the game and I was debating whether I was going to upload it or not, because it is a text, it's a reading adventure, it's a read your own story, it's not a game in that sort of sense, and it actually goes on, I think, my video for about an hour and a half. I was debating whether I was going to put it up, but actually I am going to put it up. I don't know when, but it will be coming up soon. The reason for that decision is because when I did it, I hadn't been diagnosed. I didn't know I was suffering from depression. But even when I played it, I think I say in the video a couple of times, I recognise a lot of the things that the character talks about, the game, the story talks about. And I think that if people watching it also recognise things in themselves, I'm not saying that everyone that watches it will suddenly realise they have depression. I don't think that's how it works at all. But for those people who do suffer, that, you know, I actually ended up with quite a good ending, because ultimately I like to think of myself as a positive thinking guy, despite the message in this vlog. And I would like to think that maybe watching it would help, and it might actually get some good publicity for a game that has been marred by internet hatred. But also for those guys that don't suffer, who don't understand, although they understand that it's a real thing, they may not understand what it is to live with it. Now, the character in the game suffers far worse depression than I ever suffer, and that I suffer, and I hope I ever do suffer. So I'm not putting myself in that bracket. But it was very interesting for me, given that I didn't suffer from it, or didn't know I suffered from it at the time. It was very interesting for me to look at and just see what it is to go through day by day where you don't feel anything is worthwhile, and you don't feel that you are worthwhile. Because that is one of the feelings I've had occasionally, more than occasionally, and I think it's a very good thing to put up. Now, it's not a let's play in the traditional sense of things. It is a read your own adventure. It's a lot of me talking and reading and then reacting to the situation. So if that doesn't interest you as a gaming fan, don't watch it, but I would urge that if you are suffering from depression, that you think carefully, because there are things in there that are triggers, and so if you feel it might set you off, please don't watch it. I don't want to be responsible for anyone having worse depression than they have at the moment. But if you don't suffer from it, please do seriously consider watching it, because it's not for me. I don't care whether it gets 1 view or 1,000,000 views. For me, it doesn't matter. But if it can help the understanding of what it is, then, and there are other games out there that do that, other more traditional games that do that, and I would urge you to watch those as well, to try and understand what it is that people who've got it easier than me, who've got it the same as me, on many people who've got it much, much worse than I do, you know, the people who are suicidal, or people who genuinely feel they're not worth anything to society, or their friends or family, or even themselves, what they go through, because it is not, it's getting better, it's getting a lot better in recent years. I mean, God, if I'd made this vlog 10 years ago, first of all, it wouldn't have been on YouTube, but also, you know, it wasn't as readily easy to talk about, and I've always found I struggled to explain myself to people as to why I felt the way I do, and part of that was me being stubborn and saying, no, things like this don't happen to me, why would I even suggest such a thing? But part of that is also the fact that the society didn't react to it the same way that we do now. So please do watch not just my version of Depression Quest. There's probably other people that have played it out there. I don't know, I haven't looked. but any other games that deal with those sort of subjects, or any videos in fact that deal with those subjects. But yes, so the fundamental crux of this video is that I am suffering from depression. It's not an excuse to treat me with kid gloves. It's not an excuse for me to be a miserable sod. That's not what this is for. But what it is to let you guys know that some personal things, personal projects, i.e. YouTube and the comedy show, may be stalled at times. I'll do my best not to. Like I said, I want to keep it going because it's one of the few things that I can hold on to, where I feel I've made some real headway, and I want to keep it going because it does keep me focused as much as I can ever be focused. And there will be vlogs detailing what I go through. They will not always be easy to watch. Hopefully they won't be too depressing, because I don't think I'm that far gone, and hopefully I am going to start a climb before I fall too far. Also, this is not a call for sympathy, you know. It's just a call for understanding, and it's a call for awareness, not of my personal condition, but of the condition in general. For the YouTube pages, for the YouTube watchers, there will be links in the description to a couple of websites that deal with depression, and deal with ways of helping it if you feel you need such a thing, or if you just want to research the subject and find out more about it for yourself. And there will be a live stream coming up once I've got some time, where I shall be doing it for a charity. Once I figure out how the hell you do that. But to end the video on a slightly lighter note, I want to say a massive thank you, both preemptively for your support through this difficult or potentially difficult time. Not just for me as well, but for my family and for Claire, who will be supporting me. And sometimes they will need people to vent to, and they will need, particularly poor old Claire, who's going to have to deal with it on a day-to-day basis almost. For people who, you know, she'll need people who are completely removed from my situation to talk to. And I know that you guys, particularly her friends on Facebook and the guys on YouTube, that have got in contact with her via YouTube and Twitter and through the live streams, I know that you guys will support her and me as much as I can, and as much as you guys can. But I also want to say thank you for everything we've got to this point. If you're a YouTube follower, thank you for the last year and a bit for making my life so much fun. So much fun. The people I've met, the comments I get on the videos, but the people I've met, the people I can interact with, are very, very valuable to me, and you always were, but particularly valuable now. And to the guys on Facebook, some of you guys, you know, I've known since first school. You know, in fact, obviously, in the case of my family, I've known since, you know me, since I knew you, since before I knew you, before I knew who you were, you know, when I was just a little baby. And I want to say thank you for everything that we've ever done together. Be you a friend I've met in the last week or so, or be you a friend I've known for, you know, nearly 26 years. It means a lot. I don't always say it, and I know that it's not always easy to listen to or to say mushy stuff like this, but you know, you do all mean an awful lot to me, even if I don't show it every day. So yeah, thank you very much for watching and listening, and I shall see you in as many videos as I can very soon, and on Facebook I shall see you probably in my day-to-day life. So thank you very much for listening, and keep smiling, guys, keep smiling, and I shall do my best to join you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.